Eggnog is a holiday staple, but with anywhere from 30 to 50 grams of carbs per cup, who needs that stress? In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a low-carb, sugar-free version of this holiday classic, and we'll get that started right after this. Eggnog is woven into the Christmas and holiday tradition, just like sleigh rides and caroling and going around looking at Christmas lights. From this scene in Christmas Vacation.
Can I refill your eggnog for you? Get you something to eat? Drive you out to the middle of nowhere? Leave you for dead?
No, I'm doing just fine, Clark.
And by the way, if you don't watch Christmas Vacation at least once or twice during this holiday season, do you really love Christmas? And Santa himself loves it, just like in this scene from the Santa Claus.
Coffee?
No, thank you, Judy. What do you say we start out with cold glasses of a delicious seasonal favorite, eggnog?
I don't like eggnog.
We're out.
But when you're on keto and you want to take care of your health and not get out of ketosis during this holiday season so that you don't have to start all over on January 1st, because once you get it in here, you can keep it going. So since it's one of my Christmas favorites that I love to have around, I decided to make this version of Keto Eggnog. It has no added sugar. It has all the delicious flavor that you would expect from eggnog, and you can have it guilt-free. We're going to use a few simple ingredients that you probably already have at your house, some of the spices that you might have to dig out of the back of your cabinet from last Thanksgiving, and just a little bit of your time. So let me get the ingredients together. I'll show you what you need to make this Keto Eggnog. So this is what you're going to need for this eggnog. You're going to need 6 eggs, and we're only going to use the yolks, but since they don't sell just yolks in cartons like they do egg whites, we're going to separate them. And if you haven't seen my video about my favorite ways to separate eggs, I'll put a link to it up in the corner and in the description. You're going to need some of this Splenda Magic Baker blend. You're going to need some heavy cream. And then for our spice lineup that makes it all come together, we need some nutmeg, some salt. We're going to need some of this vanilla extract, and you're going to need either some ground cinnamon or some of this pumpkin pie spice. Now this is my favorite, but if you don't have some on hand, no worries. The ground cinnamon is going to work just fine. I think this makes the flavor just a little better, but like I said, don't go out and buy it if you don't have it on hand, but if you got it sitting around, by all means, use it. Now, some people may not like this next part of the video, especially the keto police. Do I hear them? Do I hear the keto police? It is the keto police! And this is my disclaimer for the next ingredient. If you don't drink alcohol, or you don't want to hear about alcohol, or you don't think alcohol is keto, or whatever it is, fast forward about a minute in this video, or just scroll forward and I'm going to put the next chapter in there. And I definitely don't encourage drinking alcohol on a regular basis, but if you do drink, of course liquor is the only alcohol that doesn't have any carbs in it. And I know around the holidays a lot of people are used to having alcohol, and so this is a way to do it and keep it carb free. And you're used to eggnog and looking for an alternative, then this is it. This optional ingredient is bourbon, just like all the regular eggnogs. And I would recommend this brand, Maker's Mark. And I do some bourbon on occasion. It's just one of the things that I like. And this Maker's Mark is my favorite. It's one of the kind of medium priced ones. And about 8 years ago, I signed up on their website to be, I guess they call it a brand ambassador. So I get a postcard like every year telling me that my barrel would be ready at some point. And so we went and did a tour of the distillery, which is awesome anyway. Even if you don't drink, it's really cool just to go see how the stuff's made. It's in Kentucky. I was able to go when my barrel was ready. They sent me an invitation and I went and got my bottle of Maker's Mark with my name on it. But anyway, that's your optional ingredient. I'd use about 1 ounce to 2 ounces per eggnog. And you're gonna need some good old water. So I'm going to go ahead and get these eggs separated, measure out all my other ingredients, and then I'll show you how to put it together right after this. So I'm just going to put the egg yolks into the bowl. Make sure you get all that goodness in there. It's going to be delicious. And then we'll put in our sweetener. And then I'm just going to use this hand mixer to mix this until it's nice and light in color. And you see how that's nice and light in color like that? That's exactly what you want for that step. So I've got my milk in a medium saucepan, and I'm just going to turn it on to medium heat. I'm going to add in my water and the other cream. And I'm going to add in my nutmeg and salt. I'm going to stir this up, and I'm going to let it come just to a simmer. So it'll take a few minutes, just keep stirring it until it comes up to a simmer, and then I'll show you what to do next. So once that just starts to simmer like that, you can see a little bit of steam coming off. You just want it to be a little bit hot. And what we're going to do is temper the eggs. So we're going to take about a half of a big spoon, throw it in that egg and sweetener mix, and just whisk it up like that. Because you don't want to cook the eggs, but you got to just put a little bit in like that, whisk it up, or we can pour the rest of it in there. So just a little bit at a time. And now that you've got enough of it in like that, you can just pour the rest in. Because it's not going to cook it now. So I'm just going to whisk it. I'm going to move it off the heat, and we're going to add in a couple more ingredients. So now that we have it off the stove, this eggnog is where it's supposed to be. I'm going to pour it into a mason jar and put it in the fridge for just a little bit to thicken up. But I'm first going to go ahead and add in my vanilla extract. And if you're making it for kids or whatever, this is pretty warm. It's going to cook off the little bit of alcohol that's in that vanilla extract. That's why I don't want to add in this secret ingredient yet, this unnamed ingredient, because if you're using that, you don't want to cook off the alcohol. So we're going to wait till it comes out of the fridge to add that in. But let me go ahead and transfer this to a mason jar, and we'll throw it in the fridge. That's a fancy little mason jar too. It's got all these little lines going on it. I don't even know where I got that thing at, and I know you're probably like, why in the world are you using a funnel? You make cooking videos, you should know how to pour. There's two things I'm not great at. One's pouring, and the other one is my knife skills. Both of them I need to work on a little bit. So we're just gonna pour that in that quart mason jar like that, and I'm gonna put that in the fridge to thicken up. Now you just take your finished eggnog, and you can pour that into your favorite mug, moose mug, glass, or whatever you want to drink it out of. And then if you're using the bourbon and you just want a nice little relaxing night at home, then just put a little splash of that in. But if you're having a crazy Christmas party, crazy family get together, or if you just have a crazy family all together, just go ahead and use about that much. Now I know we haven't used the cinnamon yet or the pumpkin pie spice. We're going to get to it. I want to show you how I like to finish this. I like to take a cinnamon stick and just give it a little stir and toss it in. And I like to finish it with a little of that pumpkin pie spice. And like I said, if you don't have that, just use the cinnamon. And that cinnamon stick is so tiny, I'm going to have to fish that piece out. Yeah. There we go. Swirl it up, make it nice, and there is your eggnog. And you can also top that eggnog with some of this Ready Whip. They've got a 0 sugar version now, and that is one that says keto friendly, and they actually mean it. So this is a good thing to put on top if you like that. I'm glad you took time to watch my favorite Christmas drink tradition, and I know you're going to enjoy it. If you haven't seen my keto recipes for Christmas dinner video, I'm going to put the link for that right over there so that you can check it out. It takes you through an entire 13-course Christmas meal, and I had a lot of fun making it too. Hope you'll enjoy it. So for your holidays, make this Christmas classic, and from my family to yours, have a very Merry Christmas and a Keto New Year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.